This is Mindfulness with Richard. I'm Richard Clarke. Welcome. This series focuses on mindfulness meditation. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. Now, okay. Today, I'm going to talk about renunciation. People are afraid of this because it sounds like you're giving something up. It turns out you are giving up something you like in favor of something you love. This is an element of the ancient Hindu teaching sadhana chustaya, the four means or the four requisites for realization. I've talked about the first two, discrimination and detachment, and now I'm talking about the third, called the six virtues or six jewels, Shat Sampati in Sanskrit. This is not a single practice like discrimination, but rather a set of six elements of your deepening spiritual practice. So far, I've talked about sama, tranquility, dhamma, control of the senses, titiksha, or forbearance, and this week it is uparati, or renunciation. Renunciation is a Sanskrit word that means quieting, ceasing, or desisting from sensual pleasures or worldly activities. Uparati, renunciation, is a fundamental practice in mindfulness meditation that involves letting go of worldly attachments and desires. It is turning away from the distractions of the external world to turn your focus inward as you cultivate a sense of happiness and contentment within yourself. This is a turning away from transient enjoyment, favoring instead those things which bring lasting peace. A major factor in Uparati is detachment or dispassion, the second of the four means. The heart of detachment is learning that the source of happiness is within yourself, not from objects, internal or external. This prepares the ground for Uparati. Uparati, renunciation, is a critical component of a deepening sense of self-awareness and equanimity. By relinquishing attachments and desires, which is what Uparati is about, you can let go of the negative emotions and thoughts that often arise in the mind, leading to greater clarity and insight. You don't let go of the joy, just the attachments. The joy of the moment is just fine. Just don't try to hold on to it. To practice Uparati, set aside time each day for meditation in a quiet, comfortable place where you can sit in a relaxed posture with your eyes closed. Take a few breaths to settle into the present moment, and then turn your attention inward, focusing on sensations of your breath as it flows in and out of your body. This is basic mindfulness practice. As you meditate, notice any thoughts, emotions, or sensations that arise in the mind, and rather than getting caught up in them, simply observe with a sense of detachment, allowing them to come and go without getting drawn into them. Over time, this practice of detachment and letting go develops a deeper sense of inner peace and contentment, enabling you to approach life with greater clarity and equanimity. By cultivating Uparati, you develop a more profound sense of self-awareness and find a happier and more fulfilling life. Uparati also involves renouncing harmful habits or behavior that hold you back. They may include letting go of negative thought patterns and self-criticism, letting go of attachment to material possessions or social status, or renouncing harmful relationships. Practicing Uparati lets you let go of these negative influences and focus your attention on the positive, life-affirming activities and relationships, things that make you happy and bring you inner peace. This leads to a greater sense of happiness, peace, and fulfillment in your life. Let go of the small happiness and focus on the big one. Uparati is an essential aspect of mindfulness meditation. It involves letting go of worldly distractions and attachments, both in meditation and in daily life. By cultivating this quality, you can develop a deeper sense of self-awareness, greater inner peace, and find a more fulfilling life. To further practice Uparati, you can also try incorporating a few specific techniques in your practice. One is to focus on the impermanence of all things, recognizing that everything in life is constantly changing and ultimately impermanent. This can help you let go of attachment to specific outcomes or desires and allow you to stay more present and more centered in the moment. Why hold on to something that is temporary? Another technique is to practice gratitude, focusing on the positive aspects of your life and letting go of negative thoughts or emotion. This helps cultivate a sense of contentment and fulfillment. This reduces the need to seek happiness through external means. You start to see that any happiness that seems to come from things and activities is fleeting, and the happiness you find within yourself is there all the time, if you're open to it. Finally, it's important to practice Uparati with a sense of balance and moderation. While letting go of harmful habits or attachments can be beneficial, it's also important to maintain a healthy relationship with the world around you, enjoying life's pleasure without becoming overly attached to them. It's worth noting that Uparati is really not the same as renunciation, at least in the sense of completely withdrawing from the world or abstaining from all pleasures. Rather, it's about finding a healthy balance between enjoying life's pleasure and cultivating a sense of detachment from them. This balance allows you to appreciate the joy and richness of life without becoming overly attached or dependent on external sources of happiness. Uparati is closely attached to the concept of non-attachment, another important aspect of mindfulness. Non-attachment involves letting go of the need to control outcomes or to cling to specific desires and allows you to remain present in the moment and open to the ever-changing flow of life. It's important to remember that Uparati is not a one-time achievement, but rather an ongoing process that requires regular practice and attention. As you continue to cultivate this quality, you may notice a greater sense of ease and equanimity in your daily life, even in the midst of challenging situations or difficult emotions. It's also worth noting that Uparati is not a goal in itself, but rather it is a means to an end. The end being a deeper sense of self-awareness, inner peace, and fulfillment. By letting go of harmful habits and attachments, you create space for more positive, life-affirming qualities to arise, such as compassion, gratitude, and joy. Ultimately, Uparati is about finding a healthy balance between living in the world and cultivating a sense of detachment from it. By practicing mindfulness meditation and incorporating specific techniques, you can develop this quality and experience the many benefits it has to offer. So take some time to reflect on your own habits and attachments and see how you can cultivate a deeper sense of Uparati in your own mindfulness practice and, importantly, in your daily life. So, how was your meditation last week, Richard?
Much peace, and talking about Uparati and finding that joy or that happiness, which is the essence of our being.
Yes.
So it's really good. Here's Doug.
Here comes Doug. He may have come before and I just didn't notice him while I was so busy talking. Yap, yap, yap.
Yeah, that's good. There's some good talking there.
Okay. It seems like your practice is pretty steady now.
It's
And
been very steady, I would say, since 1996.
that's great.
Yeah, great blessing.
Yes. Okay, I don't know if we're going to see Doug or not, and whether we see him or not, we're still going to meditate, and he can meditate along with us. So let me. Oh, here's Doug. Hello there.
Hello,
Hey,
Richard.
Doug.
I'm glad you could join us. You missed my talk. Maybe you can get it on the video.
Well, I'll look forward to it. I'm sorry I was late.
Uh-huh.
I misplaced the login.
Oh no. Oh no. Anyway, I'm glad you got here. Thank you. I missed you. And I may have been asleep at the switch when you joined, so I don't know how long you were waiting.
I don't know.
Anyway, you got here just in time to meditate. So
I did, and that's what I was doing.
that's good. And so here we go. Now, mindfulness is present moment awareness, paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non judgmentally, fully receive whatever is experienced, then let it go. All right. And now we are going to have a video about Uparati, renunciation. She calls it satiation. And so let me find.
Uparati means satiation, satiety, having enough. Okay? Having enough of what? To acquire wisdom or the right vision about yourself, you have to have that quality. What is it? Society means I have enough. Of what? Tell me. What do you have enough of in order for you to see the truth?
Sensual world.
Sensual world. Yeah. What else?
Names and forms.
Names and forms. What else? Yeah, you have to have enough of sensual search, sensual pleasure. You have to stop looking for happiness externally. Put in simple terms. Yeah? Because all the time, the whole life, that's all we do. We look for happiness, yeah, in name, in fame, in places, in faces, right? In whatever it is, you name it, right? And you don't have enough because your mind will say all the time, this I did not experience yet. You experience about 90 shades of ice cream, but the market will come with that 91 new kind of ice cream with a new name, with a new description, and you say, oh, I didn't experience that yet. You see? Right? Or some people would marry, how many times? 7 times, 8 times, and then the next husband comes. Oh, this person I never met. This person has a quality I never seen before. This is the one. Right? So then you say, okay, do it again, try it again. Isn't that? When we suffer, when we make mistake, it never just only one time. Yeah? Because our mind has that faculty of illusion. Yeah? Always say, oh, this is new. I did not experience yet. Yeah? This is, and that's how the mind goes. But you have to come to a point in your life when you say it's enough. Enough is enough. Yeah, enough of Swami Sivananda say enough of tea, coffee, enough of illusions, enough of trying in the sensual world. So people try a lot. Doesn't mean that they get there. Doesn't mean that they get to the happiness that they feel they deserve. They try, they try, they try. The more they try, the more they get lost. The more they feel so desperate. Okay? So then at that time you have to come to a point when you say enough. I look within now. I don't want anything anymore. Because I tried so hard. So many different times I have tried. Illusion after illusion. Enough, enough, enough. It's like you eat a big meal, fill your stomach, and somebody come with a nice dish. And you look at it and you say, thank you. And they come with nice, thank you, enough. You're going to put anything anymore. It's like that. Satiation. Enough. Enough. So to qualify yourself to see reality, you have to cease to run out in the external world and try to experience different things. Number 3, that's called Uparati.
Okay, and now we're going to have another meditation. And if you want, notice between each breath cycle from up to down and down to up, there's a small pause. Just notice the pause in between your breaths. This might help you concentrate. All right. And let's close with our chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. All right. Questions, discussion? Just gonna sit here and be peaceful?
Well, that would work too.
That's the best. Now, the talk is will be in the video. It's about the first 10 minutes, and it's worth listening to, I think.
Yes.
Oh, well, I definitely will. You know, concentrating on the breath, I find that in itself is distracting.
Uh-huh.
Because when I'm thinking about my breath, then I don't breathe naturally. I breathe too fast or too slow,
Mm-hmm.
and then that becomes a distraction in itself.
Sure. Uh-huh. Well, the concentrating on your breath is just a device to help quiet your mind. And if you can quiet your mind without that trick, then that's even better. Me, I'm glad to have tricks.
Well, I'm am able to quiet my mind, usually not for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It always the thought always comes back
Right.
eventually. Um, but I can quiet my mind pretty, I don't have difficulty doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Maintaining it is more.
Uh-huh. And again, that's part of that specific kind of thing I talk about at the for the final meditation, looking at the pause between the up and down breath is something that helps some people maintain their concentration because it gives the mind something to do. And otherwise, the mind gets restless. The Hindu perspective is like the elephant in its trunk. If you leave it alone, it just waves around. But if you give it something to carry, then it will be still. Now, we don't have the elephant as much in our symbology as they do because we can't go to our nearby temple and pay a rupee and have the elephant bless us by putting its trunk in our head. They collect all the rupees. You put the rupee in the elephant's trunk and it sniffs it into its trunk and then puts it into the bowl. They wash the rupees out.
Yeah, well,
There's
hi,
Carol.
Carol. Yeah. Yes,
Anyway,
well, I wouldn't imagine that the elephant would get to keep the rupee.
well, they probably give him some other bonus. So
Hopefully.
anyway, that's the idea. Just
Yeah.
give your restless mind something to do to keep it busy. And what you want to do is basically be able to get your mind out of the way, because the deepest meditation happens when your mind is quiet and out of the way. And so that's the real objective. And if you don't need to use the techniques or the techniques distract you, then you know what's best for you. You know what works and do what works.
Well, I'm still practicing.
That's good. Anyway, it's good however you do it. It's good to sustain your practice. Okay. Well, it's good to be with you, and we'll see you again next week. And I'll send you the video, Doug, in a few hours.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.